What's happening, Kitsap? Welcome to the Strategy Real Estate Podcast. My name is Jason, and just glad that you're joining us today. Here's what this show is about. We focus on businesses in Kitsap County and the surrounding areas. We focus on real estate, and we focus on the stuff that you should just know about. And I am excited today because I've got Wendy Bathgate in the studio with me. Wendy is a mom. Wendy is a real estate broker, and we're going to find out more today. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good to have you here.
So glad to be here.
And honestly, where I want to start today is a little bit about your story, because you were in Kitsap and then you were away and then you were back and then you were overseas and then you were back. And so I just wanted to start there. Tell just, for the people watching a little bit about your story and relationship to Kitsap County, this area.
Yeah, so I started kindergarten here. My dad was in submarine, so it's a big submarine port.
Yes.
So I started kindergarten in Port Orchard. Family moved away. We moved back. They moved back right after I graduated from high school. And I stayed out on the East Coast, going to college for a couple years. And then every time I came to visit, I thought it's really, really beautiful out here.
Yes.
And obviously missed my family, wanted to be closer to them. So I ended up moving out here, going to Olympic College for, I think, a year, and then transferring over to University of Washington. So
Gotcha.
That was my second time. And then my third time, so with University of Washington, I went over to Italy, and I thought I was just going to take a gap year off.
Yeah, just to take a little time.
Ended up staying 20 years and, moving back here with four
awesome.
Italians.
Yes.
And,
moving back here with four Italians, just for the people watching, like, that's your husband and your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's no kidnapping any Italians. Like, that was by choice.
So speaking of by choice, so this time moving back, it was really a choice to move here. And, my mom's lived out here for a while. And I just couldn't wait to be closer to her. But I think this is a really nice place to be raising your family. Like, I can't think of a better place to be raising my family right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is. And the makeup of the community. You mentioned a couple there. The military community, but just the Pacific Northwest lifestyle, I think, is got this draw to it, and just, I don't know. I think also the kind of the hospitality of our areas is fairly unique for the region.
I do think people are very friendly.
So I wanted to pivot a little bit and head towards real estate, because you are a real estate broker, and really focus on, again, what's going on in Kitsap and the surrounding areas with real estate. Because, in fact, I pulled kind of a couple of facts that were going on right now. So we're in October, as of this recording, we're in October 2021, and we're seeing median home sale prices of $486,000 right now. And here's a really interesting one. 66% of homes that are being sold above list price right now. Now, I wonder, for people watching, that can sound a little bit intimidating. It's a little bit crazy. It's been a wild ride so far, but you're out there. You're in the middle of it. What are you seeing right now? What are some of the recommendations?
Yes, working with a lot of buyers. This summer was kind of crazy. There were a lot of people out there looking for homes, and sometimes it took a little longer than expected to get into the right home.
Right.
Putting in more than one offer, and they were going above listing price almost always. I kind of figured out more around with this median price range, about $40,000 over this summer.
Is what you were seeing over asking price?
Typically, yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
But we are seeing slight bit more of inventory right now. So homes are not necessarily, some homes are, selling in 5 days, like this summer.
Right.
And some are not. So there is a little bit more inventory. So one thing I would say is, if you are in the market and you're hoping to buy a home, this is to be patient, and maybe that first house that you thought was perfect isn't going to be as perfect as another home that you find. So,
no, I love that. I love that sentiment because, and that's part of my wife and our experience. Now, we bought, I guess it was 3 or 4 years ago now. So it was a little different, but it's still very competitive. And we were under contract on a home, and something happened with the well. The well was bad. It was going to be a lot different a project than we were willing to take on at the time. And we were really heartbroken because, you start to get attached and you're like, okay, we're under contract. This is going to be our home. And then ended up not working, not going through it all. But the home that we ended up in and the neighborhood that we ended up in, it was just perfect. So I love that thought of going, hey, it might take a couple of times, but you'll end up in the home you're supposed to end up in.
I really do believe that. It's happened time and time again with myself this year as well. So
you went through that recently as well. Yeah, kind of in the middle of it all. Well, one of the other things I wanted to talk to you, Wendy, since we got you here, because I know you're pretty active on social media. You've got the handle Living the Kitsap Life on both Instagram and Facebook. And I wanted to bring it up and just hear your heart about kind of why you started that.
Right. So I started real estate right in the middle of COVID. So there was a point while I was actually studying for the exam right when, in March of 2020. And there was a moment when I thought, should I do this or not do it? And it's something I've wanted to do for a really long time. So I just decided to go for it and to get my license. Starting in the middle of COVID though, was not without its challenges. We weren't allowed to do open houses, you were told to stay at home and not really connect with people. So it was a little bit more challenging. And so luckily I found a way of connecting with people through this brand, this Living the Kitsap Life. So I ended up, creating this page on Facebook and Instagram and interviewing local businesses. Local businesses was a big hot topic.
And they were taking such a hit, over the last year.
Especially restaurants. And then, I ended up focusing on a lot of businesses that had just started in 2020.
Right. Which is a whole new level of being brave to begin with. If you're like, no, I'm so passionate, I'm going to start this business now, whether we're in a pandemic or not. So I met
some really cool new business owners through that. And so from there, I ended up also focusing on upcoming events. I mean, there wasn't a lot going on, where there were usually fall is a really big, time of year here. So pumpkin patches and people were looking for things to do with their kids or things to do without kids. And, I try to create a place where you can go and find what's going on in Kitsap.
Well, I love that. So check that out if you haven't already. Living the Kitsap Life, Instagram and Facebook. And Wendy, I just want to thank you. Thank you for coming in, sharing a few moments with us. And
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, we're just trying to provide a little content for you that will bring value to you, that's focused on our community. And I hope we did that today. And we will see you next time.